You want to hear something funny? I've been really excited to do this video, and like I've been really wanting to do this video for like a while now, but I like so procrastinated it because like I wanted it to be perfect and like look cool and like just be really well put together and everything, and I just kept procrastinating and procrastinating and procrastinating. So I was like, screw it, we're just gonna do it, and like it doesn't have to look pretty and crazy. Just put the content out there and let it kind of settle from there. So we're doing it. I wanted to really put out this video because I really am passionate about kind of paving a way and showing a roadmap of what things are like as a music in the music industry and what things are like as a musician. And when I first started, I tell this story all the time. There was this specific memory I specifically have when I first dropped out of college and I was trying to make money and I was trying to build a career and build a name for myself. And I was a big fan of Ed Sheeran, and still am a fan of Ed Sheeran, but I was a huge fan, and he wasn't the superstar that he is today. He was just starting off. I think he was still on tour with Taylor Swift. I don't even know if Thinking Out Loud had come out yet, to be honest. But I was a big fan. I was listening to every single interview that he put out, and in every single interview, he was saying this one story of how in 2012 he had played 312 gigs in the year. And I had just dropped out of college, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm gonna crush it. I'm willing to play as many gigs as that. I'm gonna do it. And I could barely get a gig. And I was like, I'm willing to do the work. I just don't even know how to get it. And that's where I kind of got this concept of like, you know what? I'm gonna document everything and create this roadmap because I'm willing to do it and I want to do it. I just didn't know how. And if I felt that way, how many other artists feel that way? So I was like, I want to create this roadmap to show people, one, what's possible and document the journey, but also show how I got to where I'm going, and kind of bring people along the way. Now, your journey is not going to be like my journey. It's going to be slightly different, but I hope that you can take little pieces from that and from my journey and learn. So that being said, I'm really passionate about sharing these things because I want to help. So we're going to break down step by step the full cost of the concert that I put on. Every detail, I went through it and put in all the transactions, and we're going straight into it. So let's go right into this. I created a Google Sheets. This is actually really cool for budgets. I inputted every single one of the transactions that I had. I also use an app called Waves. It's kind of like a QuickBooks. That's actually what I use for my accountant. So I kind of technically had to double input everything, but this was a really cool format just to see just for the concert. I also wanted to do this because I wanted to for future reference, be able to go and look at for future reference and see what things look and cost like in the future. So let's get right into this. Let's see what the full total cost is. We're going to move this guy right here and see what the full total cost of the show. In the end, the show cost $21,005. That is correct. $21,005, and we're gonna go break down every single detail within that and what these expenses were. Now, what you can cut corners on and what I don't think you should cut corners on. And this is again all my total opinion. Let's say, starting off though, that this was definitely an investment. The goal was honestly to make money from this show. We definitely did not make money. We invested in the career, and at the moment, I've lost a lot of money on it. But the story's not over yet, and I've learned a lot, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what comes from it. And who knows, the dividends that this will pay off. It's like an investment, right? So total cost is $21,500. Now we're gonna go through and break down every single part of this. Let's go right into it. All right, let's see what we got. So first thing is musicians. Paid almost $3,000 in musicians. Which was honestly probably a lot less than I should have. Now I'm hiring my friends and people that I know, and we work together a lot, and they were really generous with their time because we put in so much time. I think we had 7 rehearsals, and like they were at least 2 hours, most of them 3 hours long. So just in actual rehearsals in the studio rehearsing, we had 20 hours of rehearsals. Then you add on to the fact of how much they rehearsed on their own. Like, it's easily 30, 40 hours of work. Like, so to break that down, it was about 3,000 musicians, but the total, like, everybody kind of got paid a little bit slightly different depending on involvement and of the whole track overall and where they were in the show. So hold on, Bullet's over here kind of wanted to be in the video. So total cost for musicians, $3,000, give or take. But I do want to say, I'm excited about and grateful for the fact that I'm even able to, because first starting off, it was always volunteer work, and then it was a little bit, where they make $100 or $150, and now they make significantly more than that, but they put in significant work, so they deserve that. All right, let's go next. Venue and what's it called? Videographers, or the whole package of the venue and videographers and stuff like that. Everything related to the venue was a little over $6,000. This also includes rehearsal venues, not rehearsal studios, but rehearsal venues. For example, like I had to rent out spaces when I went to like Dallas. We played a little show in Dallas, me and Danielle as promo, and I had to rent a space for that. Like all that is included in the venue. Now this is also the venue cost of the day of event. This is also the cost of the day of in the actual like rehearsals. Like we had a rehearsal in the studio. Of the venue, like all that included, and also cameras, because it was we worked it out where the cameras are also in this price. So I paid a little over $6,000 for the venue and the cameras, and also included the raw footage of all the cameras, which is really cool. Merch was about $2,200. In-person merch, like I had merch in person, and I also bought merch before I traveled, so that I had merch to sell when I played these shows. Definitely did not make my money back yet in merch, but merch kind of lasts forever. I can give it away as gifts on my channel for interviews. When I give everybody that I have on my channel for an interview a gift package, and includes a More Than Music shirt. So I'm not really worried about that, but it's still a very high cost. Videographers. So I hired a couple videographers for the rehearsal days because I wanted some behind the scenes footage. I also created some I wanted a video of like the story behind the 10. I wanted a video like to promo intro starting the show, kind of create this cool banger style video, which I was really, really happy with how that came out, and documenting the footage. The goal for now the next goal that I have is to create a documentary of this process and turn it into a documentary. So I wanted just all footage because I couldn't obviously hold the camera while I'm there, so total cost it was I think 3 videographers on separate occasions was about $1,000, $972. Branding. So this is all materials that I bought essentially like for the show to create the brand, right? So whether that be the blacks that blacked out the windows, whether it be the HDMI splitter that created the 4 different TV looks or 3 different TV looks, whether that be the subscription to motion array to create the graphics that I created, all that goes into branding. Again, about $1,000 in branding. For the show. Next we have, let's see what else we have. We have printing, $125 in printing. So that being like everything from printing the download cards to printing the individual invites that I had for the VIP guests to printing posters to all the different types of printing. We had $125 in printing. All right, let's keep going. Oh, where were we next? Okay, next we have meals. So I bought wow, that's a lot of money in meals, man. That's crazy. So I don't exactly recall off the top of my head if this includes my travel meals or if because I have a separate category for travel. I'm gonna assume that is included in my travel meals. So when I went to California, I did a lot of promo for the show. So that being said, I flew to Dallas, I flew to Orlando, and I flew to LA and San Francisco to promote the show. So that being said, I had to eat while I was there, so that's my portion of that is my eating there. Another portion of that though is me feeding the band. So very often at rehearsals, I would bring I'd bring them coffee, I'd bring them breakfast, or if it was a night rehearsals, I brought dinner several times. I provided dinner the day of the show. I provided dinner in the in-studio rehearsal space, and then I brought like Taco Tuesday once, and it adds up. So meals for the band, and also I believe potentially for myself for travel. Next should be next is rehearsal space. So this is because I have a band and we needed space to rehearse. I actually had to rent every single time we rehearsed. I had to rent a space to rehearse. Typically it was $35 to $40 an hour, and typical rehearsals were like about 2 to 3 hours. So it was about $120 per rehearsal. We had I think 3 or 4 in rehearsal spaces, and then individually we got together. Also one in the actual space location, which was separate. So rehearsal space was about $530. Then we had travel. We had about $2,000, $1,937 in travel. Let me just zoom out for a quick sec so I can add more cells so we can move this down. Okay, so we had travel. what was that? $2,000 in travel. So that is me going to, again, Orlando, Dallas, LA, San Francisco. And that's all, like, all the flights, all the Ubers, stuff like the rental cars. Again, to promote the show, I played a show in San Francisco, I played a show in Dallas, and then I met with Blake McLean to film some promo videos for the show in Orlando. Gear rental. So because there was so much going on with the show, there was a lot of gear that we had to rent. For example, we had to rent the soundboards. We had to rent microphones. We had to, like, we have, I have a lot of gear myself. Matt, the mixer, has a lot of gear, but there's just stuff that, like, we wanted high quality of, or also stuff that neither of us, we didn't have enough of, and we wanted to keep it consistent. Like, yeah, I have a microphone, but it's a very different microphone than that, like, Emily might have used. So, like, to keep it all consistent, we rented out microphones, rented out just a bunch of gear, mixing boards. We rented out, let's see, soundboards. So for example, all the cables go to one plug, like what's called a stage box, and then that one big cable goes to the soundboard. So that's gear rental for 2 different days, one for the in-studio rehearsal and one for the actual show. Next is gear repair. I had to get my guitar repaired. I also paid for Anthony to get his bass repaired. So $200 in gear repair, and I think there was something else included in that. I don't remember off the top of my head. Marketing, I paid $90, which I was given a little. I haven't used Instagram marketing quite some time, but I wanted to get back into it, so I paid $100 in Instagram marketing. What else do we have? Insurance. This is very interesting. When you do a big event like this, you're required. I was actually required, and you recommended to, but also required to by the venue, get event insurance. So I had event insurance for the day, which was $181. But it covers the liability if anybody gets hurt, if anything goes wrong. I don't know if it's included, but there was an option for if the event was canceled. So any event, actually, like if you go to any concert or anything like that, I bet you they have event insurance. Very interesting. Pretty reasonably priced, though. Sound engineers. So this was for the main mixing guy, Matt, but also the whole team involved as well. So total sound engineers for 2, 1 the rehearsal day and 2 the actual day of event. And then there's 3 sound techs that came in there, about $1,800 in sound engineers for the day of event and for the text that came with that. But also I gotta, like, there was a lot of work that went in for, like, the production management of that, in the sense of, like, there was several times that I met Matt outside of it. So, like, it wasn't just necessarily that one day. $800 in event staff. This includes the event coordinator, the set design, and stuff like that, all compiled into one event staff day. So that does not include, though, the purchases that I made for example, set design, like the again, the blackout stuff. I bought some other stuff, like Polaroid stuff. I bought, actually I didn't have to buy any Polaroids, but I bought, like, the things to hang Polaroids. I bought, back in that branding includes things like my step and repeat, the step and repeat that I have. It includes things like the merch sign. Like, a lot of that can be reused. It includes the wristbands. That's all in branding. All right, I think that is the last one. So total cost for the show, adding all this up, again, the $3,000 for musicians, venue, merch, we have a total of $21,000. So that all being said, I did not make that back in the concert, being fully honest. And I'm looking forward to it being paid back, though. Like, you know, it's an investment in the career. The fact that this was even an option, and I want to give one more shout out to Perspective, that big supporter of the channel, Mosum here, said, and he said that the fact that I was able to put on the fact that it wasn't even a conversation to put on a show of $21,000. Where my first year of music that I dropped out of college, I made $9,000 total. The second whole year, I made $18,000 total. So the fact that, like, I put on a show, and for a single day that cost more than I made my whole first year or my whole second year, is, like, remarkable. And I'm incredibly grateful. And I'm not doing this to show, like, hey, look how cool I am. Like, that's like a small show compared to what some of these other artists are doing. But I just want to show, because I want to document, and I want, if you're interested in doing something similar, just now you have a general idea of what things cost. I'll put the things back on the screen again so you can get a general idea. But, like, take a screenshot. Like, you have a general now idea of what things cost. And to be honest, like, some of these things aren't cheap. Some of these things are more expensive depending on your location. Like, New York can be an expensive place, but because I was working maybe with friends. If these were not friends, it would have been a lot more expensive for musicians, or who knows. But the case is, you have a general idea now. And if you're interested, what can you cut out? What can you not? One thing I would recommend is don't put dates on anything, because then you can reuse a lot of the stuff. I made the mistake of putting dates on the wristbands and stuff. Like, now that I have 100 extra wristbands that I can never do anything with, unless I just want to give them away for like, you know, memorabilia. But like, not putting dates on stuff would be a huge help. Posters, again, same thing. Don't put dates on them. Maybe the year, because then if you have another show, but like in that year, but stuff like that. I plan to make a separate video of like a general idea of what I learned, what I would do differently, but hope that the concert costs you found entertaining, you've learned a little something, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. If you'd like to watch the full concert, you can still watch it. There's a link down below. Go to jacobrestituto.com/concert-tickets. So it would mean a lot to me if you want to help pay off this concert. I appreciate you. God bless and peace out.